The uncreation. On the first day, the action began, ceaseless and unrelenting. The stillness was torn apart by motion, the calm by chaos. The skies raged with storms, not born but eternal, a cacophony of thunder and fire. The ground churned, unable to rest, swallowing itself in an endless cycle. There was no peace, no sanctity, only ceaseless toil. The eternal motion demanded nothing but decay. There was no blessing, no hallowing of existence, only the unmaking of what was never whole. The heavens were restless, pulling at the earth, the winds tearing at the skies. The world was caught in its own destruction, and the curse of action consumed all. On the second day, the beasts of the land, the creeping things, and the great creatures of the wild faded into the dust. They unformed, dissolving in reverse, bones retracted into flesh, and flesh into shadow until nothing of them remained. The rivers, once flowing, now retreated, carving their paths backward into barren ground. The forests stood still and then crumbled into themselves, their leaves falling upward into the void. Humankind, stripped of its dominion, became prey to the emptiness. Their voices echoed faintly, as if the earth had swallowed their cries before they were born. On the third day, the seas and skies grew silent. The waters retreated, folding inward, collapsing into unseen depths, their creatures unspooled, their forms vanishing as if they had never swum. The air, once teeming with flight, became a suffocating stillness. No song, no flutter, just the heavy weight of absence. The seas left behind nothing but cracked, dry voids where life had once flourished. The skies followed, dimming, collapsing into themselves until there was no horizon to distinguish the heavens from the earth. On the fourth day, the lights above dimmed and failed. The stars, which had burned for ages, folded inward, collapsing into points of nothingness. The greater and lesser lights extinguished themselves, drawing their warmth and glow back into the void. Shadows overtook everything, blurring the boundary between what was day and what was night. The firmament shattered, its divisions unmade, and the heavens became indistinguishable from the void. The vast expanse that had once held the celestial lights now fell into a quiet, consuming darkness. On the fifth day, the earth itself withered. The grasses that had once stretched across plains retracted into the soil, turning it barren. The trees ungrew, their branches folding back into their trunks and their roots crumbling into dust. The seeds consumed themselves, their potential erased. Where life had sprung forth, now there was only the memory of decay. The earth lay still, an empty canvas stripped of its colors, barren and cold. On the sixth day, the heavens and waters collapsed into one. The firmament which had divided them was no more. The skies and seas merged into a chaotic torrent, a swirling, suffocating nothingness. The waters which had once cradled life now consumed all. The earth was pulled downward into the depths, its solidity eroded into a shapeless slurry. The heavens themselves bent and crumbled, folding into the chaos below. On the seventh day, there was no void, no darkness, only the unbearable fullness of everything. The light consumed all, not warm, but blinding and oppressive. It stretched endlessly, swallowing the remnants of the heavens and earth. The Spirit moved through the light, not in creation, but in obliteration. It devoured all in its path, leaving nothing but a hum, a resonance that spoke not of life, but of its eternal undoing. The fullness left no room for form, no space for thought, only the crushing weight of its presence, and so the uncreation was complete. Nothing remained but the hum of the all-encompassing light, stretching endlessly, timelessly into itself.